I recently purchased these two flat panel displays from our local university surplus store. There's something on the wing. Something on the wing. Huh. It does kind of sound like Bill Shatner. I purchased these last week. Two Dell Ultrasharp monitors. One of them is a U2410 Ultrasharp 24-inch monitor. The other one is a 1907 FP Ultrasharp 19-inch monitor. Both of them came with the little add-in speaker bar on the bottom that gets power from the monitors. I think that the 24-inch has pass-through for HDMI through a little audio out. 19-inch is pretty bog standard, DVI, VGA. 24-inch has more. We'll talk about that in a bit. Here's a video of my disembodied hands very quickly cleaning up this 19-inch monitor with some homemade window cleaner and a little bit of Goo Gone. So some of you are probably watching this on this retro computer and electronics channel and thinking, these are not retro. These are not vintage. These are not even CRTs. Why are they on this channel? I'm glad you asked that question, and I'm especially glad you ask it using that silly voice. That's my Jerry the Linux Fellow voice, by the way. Hello, everybody. Jerry the Linux Fellow here today to talk to you about what I believe is the finest operating system man has yet conceived of, the GNU Linux operating system. So listen, retro and vintage are completely useless terms. And the reason why they're useless is because they're absolutely subjective. Like, you're right, as a middle-aged dude, these are not retro or vintage. I think I used that 19-inch monitor or one of its siblings like 2 jobs ago. But my daughter thinks that anything that doesn't have a touchscreen is an antique, so there you go. So the U2410 did not come with a stand. They had some miscellaneous stands at the surplus store, and I picked the one that looked the most suitable, but it needs a little bit of work. It's not actually the right stand. It was just the closest they had. In portrait mode, there's like a 1/4 inch of clearance at the bottom, and the tension screw needs to be adjusted. So let's take the stand apart after I remove the sticker with a little bit of Goo Gone. So there's not actually a tension screw, like you're not adjusting the spring itself. What there is there's a metal back plate inside of there and a little set screw that goes in and out, either increasing or decreasing friction to prevent the thing or to enable the thing to slide up and down easily. So really all you have to do is get in here and adjust that little screw, and then it's good to go. It's not a particularly difficult fix. The only thing that's even remotely challenging is getting the plastic off without breaking it. Everything else is just, bog standard Phillips screws. There you can see the little set screw. And I spent a little bit of time adjusting that. Put the stand back together just enough to test it, and yep, that's pretty good. That'll work. Keeps it up, really, is all I care about. And then putting it back together, obviously that's just the reverse of taking it apart, which is usually how these things go. I have to say, the biggest concern I have with these kinds of repairs is always the plastic. Especially now that this plastic isn't that bad, but some of that late 90s stuff is just becoming really brittle, right? Like the Apple cases in general seem to be problematic with regards to taking them apart and not destroying the plastic in the process. Fortunately for this one, like I say, not that old. Plastic's not that bad. It pretty much went together without any issues, and, working monitor stand. So that's always good. Well, it's going to be hard to top the excitement of me walking you through my fixing a monitor stand. So instead of talking about how to clean a 24-inch monitor, while this clip plays, I think I'll talk about what I use instead of vintage retro when I think about old computers. There's a couple of ways you could do this. You could use decades. The problem with that is that, a computer from 1980 has more in common with a computer from 1979 than it really does with a computer from 1989 in a lot of respects. Bits, they used to do that in consoles, 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit. I think they moved on to generations. You can't really do that with computers because, with consoles, there's only a couple of manufacturers for any given generation, whereas for computers, they're just, a staggering number of manufacturers, especially during the heyday of personal computing in the mid to late 80s and through the 90s. What I use instead is I actually use ages. So the Stone Age is the advent of digital computing in the mid-40s through 1974 when the Altair 8080 is released. The Golden Age from 74 when the Altair is released up until the Mac is released in 84. The Silver Age, which is the release of the Mac through the end of the 486 era, which is more or less around 94, maybe 95. That's also around the time that Apple started switching to the PowerPC. The Bronze Age, which is the Pentium era, basically the advent of the Pentium all the way through the Core 2 release, which is about 2006. And then everything after that is the modern era, which has its problems because the modern era is getting a little too. But right now, I think that works pretty well. Okay, well that cleaned up pretty well. Here's the Dell 19-inch, 1280 by 1024 resolution, 8 millisecond response time, 140 degree viewing angle. If we flip it over here and swing around to the back, we can look at the inputs. It's got a DVI-D, VGA, little USB 2.0 port, and power out for the speaker bar. A couple of ports on the side there. Let's go ahead and hook this thing up to my iBook G4 Steve Jobs, the perfect center of my digital lifestyle, and see how it looks. Make sure it works.
We think that iBook is a perfect product to be the center of your digital lifestyle. It's the perfect center of your digital lifestyle.
What could possibly be more exciting than watching some dude plug in a monitor to a laptop on the internet? Fantastic. You notice that I grabbed the VGA cable, not a DVI cable. That's because the iBook G4, despite it being the center of your digital lifestyle, doesn't actually support DVI. It has a mini VGA out that is just mini VGA to 15-pin VGA, which is kind of a bummer, but whatever. Get a little power in there. Yeah, that's good. A little juice. And the dongle in question. Oh, flip it over. There you go. Now you got it. You got to plug it into the... Nope. Flip it over. There you go. Oh, that was easy. Good boy. All right, let's get rid of some stuff. Hello, my lady. Yeah. Let's put on some royalty-free music. I want to check out this speaker bar and see what it sounds like. So put on Your Dancing Pants by Reed Mathis from the YouTube royalty-free library. Let's see how that sounds. And it doesn't sound good, but it might help to actually plug in the speaker bar. So let's do that and then see what it sounds like. They actually don't sound bad. Crank it up a little bit. I mean, it's not audiophile or anything, but I think for playing video games, it's probably fine. Sounds decent. MacSoft and auto adjust in progress with Westlake Interactive. and infogrammes and Firaxis proudly present an intro video in really low resolution. What is that even 640 by 480? I guess it is. Come on, guys. Make the title screen better at least. Son of a 1024 by 768. At least it's getting bigger. So go into preferences. Yeah, there's nothing about the resolution there. It should be in 1280 by 1024. I think they just didn't create assets for like the load screen and whatnot. Oh, there we go. That looks better. Dawn of Civilization. All right. You know what? Let's go down here. Oh, there's a nice native village. Oh, they're so friendly. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You know what? Let's move this guy over here. How exciting is it to watch someone play Civilization? Let's just skip ahead a little bit to the foundation of Otisburg. Yeah, Otisburg. Look at that. Even these screens are not in full resolution. They're stuck at 1024. Craziness. All right, let's switch gears here a little bit. What if there were a version of Civilization that was real-time rather than turn-based? And what if that version was created by... Wait for it. Hey, good job with the full screen intro video, guys. You'll get a bonus this year, Microsoft. Oh yeah, this one's full screen too. Ah, nice. They got their act together over there in Redmond. Title screen? Also full screen. All right. Good job. I mean, if you have a Dell 1907 FP, you want to take advantage of all of your pixels. So even if they're super grainy like those intro videos. All right, you two go chop down that tree. And you find me some stuff. Remember that? The waypoint flags? That's the sign of a professional Age of Empires player. I turned the music off because I didn't want to get pinged for a copyright violation. I doubt that anybody cares, but who knows? Ah, sheepies. Alright. You guys go up here and I'll kill you later. Yeah, so Age of Empires, watching that is about as exciting as watching Civilizations, which is to say, not very. You kill that sheepy. Alright, let's switch gears here for real this time. Blizzard. A lot of people don't remember them. They were a big games maker back around the turn of the century. Look at the frame rate. Ugh. This is actually running in classic mode, so it's a little pokey, I think. We'll see how the gameplay is. Diablo. It's the Diablo 2 expansion set. Okay. Yeah, that's choppy. That's not too bad. I mean, it's definitely playable. Alright, I'm just trying to find the bridge. There's that confounded bridge. I'll go over here to the Blood Moors.
Beware foul demons and beasts.
That's right. I'm out to get ya. Alright. Any second now, we'll come across a foul demon or beast that we can hack. Any second now, we're going to come across a foul demon or beast. Oh, foul demon. Well, zombie. Close enough. Owned. Alright, who's next? Who's next? Gotta be something else in this Blood Moor. Any second now. Oh, critter. Kill the critter. Hey, he dropped some treasure back here. 4 gold pieces. Why is a quill rat carrying gold pieces? Doesn't really make a lot of sense. He doesn't seem like he's the type to carry a purse around. Oh. Oh, hello, milady.
Turn back. I can tell that you need more experience to fight safely in the next wilderness.
You're not the boss of me. And she just stands there while this creature attacks me. Thanks a lot. First you call me weak, and then you just stand there. Ridiculousness. You know what? We need something a little bit more old school. Let's quit out of this. And bring this guy out. The venerable Apple IIc. And to connect it, we need the Apple IIc VGA adapter, since we don't have composite on this monitor. All right, let's fire this thing up. That was a cut. Obviously, it doesn't load that fast. This is actually played off of a legitimate 5 1/4 inch disc. So the first time I tried to play this game, I couldn't get the joystick to work. And then it occurred to me that the real issue is that I apparently don't know the difference between left and right. But I got it to work this time. Doesn't that guy on the bottom left look like Riker from Next Generation? Like wearing a blue jumpsuit and green boots? Alien skateboarder next to him? Or at least someone who's very sunburned? Alright, so if you've never played Kicks before, the enemy, well, you got 2 enemies. You got those little guys going around the corner, or the edges, and then you got the little rotating lines guy. And so you want to avoid all of those, and you're trying to like chop off a bit of the square without having the rotating lines guy or one of the edge guards. Yeah, that's what it's the edge guards and the rotating lines guy. Those are the official, in the manual, I think that's what they're called. The edge guards and the rotating lines guy. Why does it say Pliar 1? Like we didn't want to spring for the extra vowels? What's up with that? Greedy. I got greedy. And that's the problem with Kicks. Kicks is all a game about greed management, right? Like when you're cutting out your little section of the square, you have to not be greedy. And when you get greedy, you get run into by the rotating lines guy. Look at that. 40%. Chop off this little bottom section. Another 5%. Sneak over here. Yeah. Right? This is some compelling gameplay right here. It's actually a pretty fun game to play. Not quite as much fun to watch, I think. But all right, let's switch to the other monitor. All right, the Dell U2410 Ultrasharp 24-inch 1920 by 1200 pixel display. You got a display port, HDMI, 2 DVI-Ds, VGA, composite and component, a USB 2.0 hub with a 4-in-1 media card reader on the side. Then this audio out, I believe, pushes audio from the HDMI into whatever you have hooked up. So it sort of pass through for that. Not a bad monitor. Composite makes it good for old computers. Let's go ahead and hook it up to Steve Jobs and see how it runs.
Perfect center of your digital lifestyle.
Okay, we're going to test this out with the DVD. Let's fire up Delicious Library and check out the state of the DVD collection, which is not that great these days. Let's go ahead and grab it. Stick it in the player. This player's pokey, so there's going to be a cut. Oh, hey, it loaded really quickly. Or something. What? I don't want this. We have our beautiful widescreen monitor. We don't want it reformatted. All right, well, let's see how full screen looks. Evil. Evil. All right, loading the widescreen version. That's better. So this is 16:9 aspect ratio. The monitor is actually 16:10, so it'll be bars at the top and the bottom, but you get the full picture, so that's better. Colorado, not far from where I live. Seriously, the gate code was 69? Like, who programmed that? A 14-year-old? There he is. Our hero. Ah, there's our real hero, the UH-1B, workhorse of the Vietnam War, star of many action movies throughout the 80s and 90s. And there's also a train.
Sounds like torpedoes. Must be in dark territory.
The hell is this?
All right, so let's watch Steven Seagal kick this guy in the crotch in a second, and then we'll switch over to the Apple II and see how the composite input looks. Oh, he got the guy right in the crotch. That's good. I mean, it sucks for him. All right, what do we got here? Apple IIc. Do it. Ah, Arcanoid. Taito presents Arcanoid. The exact time of this story is unknown. F. So, did Taito just rip off the Superman theme? Because that sounded suspiciously like the Superman theme. I don't know. That's probably going to flag me for a copyright violation because I played Arcanoid and it ripped off the Superman theme. Great. Oh, extended, get it? Oh, I love the extended. I love the extended. Hey, where'd my extended go? See, the problem with lasers is that you start concentrating on shooting and you... Whoa. What was that? It went through my paddle. See what you're going for. You got the capture. Oh no, I got greedy. what you're going for is to get it up. Oh yeah, right there. Then you get like when it does those little short bounces and it knocks all of the ones off on the top. Oh, that's perfect. That's good. It's especially great when the little alien dudes are coming out of the hole in the top of the screen and you get to kill all of those guys at the same time. That's like Arachnoid Nirvana. Yeah, this is great, but what would really be great is if I could play Arachnoid while I watched my Under Siege 2 Dark Territory, aka Under Siege on a train. So I wonder if there's a way with this monitor I could make that happen, and I bet there actually is. That's the cue to switch to the other clip. That's right, kids. The U2410 supports picture-in-picture, which means you can have your Arachnoid and your Under Siege 2. Under Siege 2, I guess. The PIP settings on this are actually pretty good. Any of the two inputs that it has available, you can set for the main picture and for the picture-in-picture picture. And then there's a easy to use swap feature, which allows you to go back and forth between the two inputs. That's what my kitchen looks like when my 12-year-old has been cooking.
This, I'm trained. There's been a slight change in your travel plans tonight. You have, you will note, been moved to the last two cars of the train that I kill you.
He's insane. He's insane.
So please, no hero shit.
This works pretty well. But I did notice that I tended to get kind of distracted by the movie when I was trying to Arachnoid. I did try a different game. Sega! No, it's not Sega. It's the other guys. Enough of that Apple 8-bit nonsense. Let's pull out the big guns. Let's get some emotion engine action going on. Hooked up to the component inputs on this U2410, and we'll see how that looks with our picture-in-picture mode. Got the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 here, perhaps the third best release in the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series, after Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, and then of course at the top, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. So do you remember in the previous clip where I said that it was easy to swap between the inputs? Well, that was a bunch of shit, and I was just too lazy to edit that audio. As you can watch Butterfingers here, it's kind of a pain in the neck because you have to go into this menu setting, PIP settings, go to PIP mode. Yeah, there it is down at the bottom. Oh, what'd you do that for? You backed out. Go back. PIP settings. Do it. PIP mode. Do it. Down at the bottom. Swap. Yes, there we are. Yeah, okay, there we got our Under Siege 2 going on the big screen and our Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 on the bottom screen. And I'm not going to talk much about this because what I discovered is that for the 8-bit games where there's not a lot going on, like Arachnoid, you get a little distracted by the movie, but I had a hard time playing this video game when I was distracted by the movie because, you know, there's a little bit more than just moving a paddle left and right. So anyway, I'm done with this video. That's all I got to say about these guys. Both monitors look good. The U2410, if you see one of these, man, I'd pick it up. It's got a lot of features, and I think a lot of them are actually pretty useful for people who are into vintage computers or who have some old computers sitting around. That's all I got. Seriously. Nothing more to say. You should stop watching.